Hi.
Hey guys, we should I'm sorry. Uh this intro is gonna make no sense to the audio listeners, but just know that Brady was being a mad lad on this. Oh my gosh. Hi guys.
Welcome. Wowee.
Goodness, dude. What's good, man?
Hi.
Can you tell us?
Welcome
been a
back.
while?
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah,
We haven't done this in months.
way too long, man. I don't think it's even like safe to say at this point.
How many months has it been since the taco one?
I'm really scared. I mean, don't we
It's
have
been a
another
while.
one filmed?
No.
No. Oh yeah,
No.
we don't talk about that one.
Oh yeah. That's good. But yeah, welcome back. We've not been around for a bit, but thanks for coming back. Some things have changed. We've been working behind the scenes. Don't think
We have.
Our podcast is now on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Whoa.
That's
You may
honestly,
be
I
may
really,
be listening on one of those devices.
I'm proud of
and
it.
if so, that's crazy stuff.
Yeah. Also, if you are listening on YouTube, there's a thing that hasn't been around at all, and that is video.
Yeah.
It's really quite nice to be able to see the person who I'm talking to's face while we're doing this.
It is nice.
But one day I know we will do it in person and be able to
We will
lick each other
yeah.
as much as we want and with no fear of catching anything. I will be licking you, Brady. Just prepare yourself for that. Are you ready?
All right, so basically what we're going to be doing this episode is we're going to be trying something a little bit different. I had this idea and I messaged Tommy about it a while back, and we were both pretty into the idea. We're going to try and interview each other.
Yeah. We have actually, like, apart from the pilot episode of this podcast, have been interviewing and having guests on the podcast so far.
Mm-hmm.
And what better guest to have than ourselves? You know?
I don't know which side Tommy's going to be on. If he's down there.
Both of them. But yeah. So, you know, it's been a while since, like, it's just been Brady and I on the podcast, and like that's the Player Select podcast. It's not called Player Select and other people, but I really enjoy having guests. Don't get me wrong, but you know, this is nice every once in a while. So,
for sure.
I think the way it'll work is we'll kind of take turns asking each other questions. If it's I don't know, good question, we might ask the other person, like, "What about you?"
Yeah.
But we will try to keep things moving along so that we feel like we can both get our questions and our answers in. So yeah, it has been a while.
It's gonna be a bit of a different episode, I'd say.
Yeah, I think this is a nice, fresh rebirth. I'm not saying that we will be consistent in the future because no promises, but it would be nice. It's a nice idea. So, Brady, do you want to go ahead and start us off?
Sure, man. Yeah. Basically, the first question I have written down here is, you're obviously a big music man. You know, that's kind of your shtick.
Yeah, I am. I have the the trombones and the clarinets and stuff all behind me. I'm just leading a big parade.
Yeah.
But yeah, so music has actually recently been a little bit different, but I've actually been enjoying it. So I
You just a few months ago you released some of your first originals
yeah, I
on YouTube.
I have 3 originals out now. There's one with actual lyrics, and then 2. I was just experimenting with like instrumental stuff, which like I still really like doing instrumentals, um, mainly because producing vocals as a completely novice producer is really hard. Especially with the setup in my room. I don't have any kind of like soundproof anything for my mic, and my mic isn't even that um like utilized for vocals, so it's just like it's real rough, but I'm making it work.
What do
And
you use to do your instrumentals?
I use a oh to sorry, I thought you asked microphone. My brain is just like skipping around everywhere. I use this program called PreSonus Studio One.
Oh, okay.
It's I don't know why I went for this instead of like Pro Tools or something else.
I know a lot of people use FL for all
Yeah.
this stuff.
I like when I didn't know anything about music or producing, I found this one and I was like, this looks good. I don't know the industry standard. I hadn't even heard of freaking Pro Tools or Logic or Ableton. And I was like, I'm gonna get this one, and I made my parents spend like $250 on something that I probably won't be able to use in like a professional setting because no one uses it. It's really nice though. It's I've gotten used to it for sure, and like it has a lot of sounds and stuff that I just tend to actually like, which isn't the case with all the stuff I've seen. So yeah, it's definitely like not very popular, but it's still like professional grade technically. And aside from that, I've been putting out TikToks. Uh, Super cringe, I know. Much less BTS covers on TikTok. But Brady is just like giving me the deadest look.
No, it's fine. To be honest, I've kind of come around with like there is the whole, obviously, ooh, TikTok cringe alert type thing with that. But I don't know, there's a lot of cool stuff that goes on TikTok.
There really is. Like there's literally something for everyone. If you know of a niche, there is like a very famous and prolific creator who creates for that niche. I can guarantee it. And people just make stuff like so frequently, like it's crazy how, like in comparison to YouTube especially, how much content people make just daily, like multiple a day.
Oh, dude, it's insane because of how short form everything is.
Yeah.
Like you can pump stuff out so quickly.
Yeah. But yeah, I found a little niche of my own, just acoustic BTS covers, and like the views, I know like TikTok views do not equal like the level of like value that YouTube views do, because like YouTube views can more easily translate into direct money and like AdSense. But I've been getting more views on TikTok, way more views than I do on YouTube. And I think it's just the accessibility of it. And
right.
so, I don't want to like leave behind YouTube at all, and I still plan on putting stuff out on YouTube. But the interaction that I'm getting on TikTok is motivating to keep going. If you're seeing that someone is actually liking your stuff, it kind of makes you feel better than when like literally no one sees your stuff. So
yeah. YouTube's just like the discovery system on YouTube is just like, it's so strange.
It is really weird.
Starting out on YouTube is just it's so difficult. Just like,
yeah,
because for your first like, could be like hundreds of videos, you're not gonna get any traction.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it doesn't matter the like work you put into it. It's like completely like, by chance.
Quality doesn't really think about YouTube and quality. YouTube doesn't take into account really that much when it comes to like and dislike stuff.
Yeah. And like,
it's kind of strange.
At the end of the day, it's kind of just about like the title and thumbnail in terms of like one video doing a little bit better than the others, because like
right
when you're a small creator, one video can only go so viral, even if you like make the perfect thumbnail that gets all of the people's attention and the perfect title that like really makes people want to watch it. Like, it's only going to be shown to so many people, no matter how good you make it. And so it's kind of just like this uphill fight of trying to just predict what the system's going to do and what the audience is going to do in a world that is completely impossible to predict. So like, it's really hard. And like, I encourage anyone who's trying to do that, go easy on yourself, man. Like, if you're not like getting as many views as you want, or like hardly any, like, everyone's been there, and it is so hard to get any kind of traction. So just, if it helps, find something that actually does work for you. And I found TikTok, and it kind of a little bit works for me a little bit better. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm got going on in terms of music. I've also been writing a lot lately. And final announcement, I will have also exclusive the 3 singles, or it's kind of a group EP now. The EP that I have already released to YouTube will be on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, all music platforms on April the 1st. So if this is going up after April the 1st, it's already there. And if it probably will not be up before April 1st, because it's like 3 days. So yeah,
I'm putting Stream Lazarus as my Twitter name.
Aw, thanks, bro. It's definitely, I at least the lyrics I'm pretty proud of. But
oh yeah, I listened to that again the other day. It's a very good song.
Thank you, bro. Enjoy it. But yeah, so it'll be on whatever you listen to music on.
What are you looking to do in the future with music? What's your
Well, I at this point, like, I'm gonna try to focus more on like whatever it is that I'm working on, actually releasing it, and with what it is sounding good. Because I think what I've been trying to do with a lot of my long-term projects is make them something that just realistically, with my experience level and my skills and my situation, I can't really make it the best potential it can be, as sad as it to say. Like, I'm not a studio level producer yet, and I don't have like a room or a working space that's designed to make stuff like that really come together. So I'm gonna probably start with like some more simple projects, like maybe some like lo-fi kind of like piano ballads or whatever, because at this point I have a lot of written songs that I just want to show people. So whatever I can do to do that, I'm gonna try to do that as much as I can. And you know, like I won't call it a demo, but if I revisit it in the future when I am paying a better producer or I'm just better at producing, then that's completely chill. But yeah, find me on April 1st. I'm just Tyr, Tyr, on all platforms. So yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, dude.
Thank you, man. I actually, this is kind of related, and you know, I don't want to only talk about this, but what is your relationship with music right now, and what do you want it to be in the
Oh,
future?
my relationship with music right now. Well, you see, I've got that thing right there.
Uh huh.
Uh,
It's pretty.
um,
Can I just say?
I'm not very good at it.
It's a guitar, by the way. If you're an audio listener,
Dude, that's crazy. But yeah, so I fiddle around. I am a guitar novice. I've played on and off for about 3 or so years. Just I'll get started on it and like I don't know. This is just kind of how I am as a person, but I just lose I just kind of like fall out of things a lot.
yeah,
Just like I don't know.
I totally get
Like
that.
but like I'm getting back into it now. Like I've been like over the past few days just been enjoying playing guitar a lot, and I think it has to do with like I have some of my friends are getting into like playing instruments now. Like I have one friend who's learning guitar now, and I have one who's learning how to play bass, one who's learning how to play drums. Like it's
Dang,
we got a
you're
whole
gonna get it.
band.
Yeah. I gotta get together in someone's garage, put out some Green Day covers.
Also, I've just been generally more into listening to music lately because, like, the weird thing is, when I was younger, I didn't listen to very much music. That just,
Yeah.
it's such a strange thing to say, but like, I just didn't listen to music really. But
Interesting.
now that I'm kind of at an age where I understand music a lot more, and and I know about music more,
Hmm.
I can appreciate it a lot better. And I think that really contributes to like me wanting to learn music.
Yeah. It's
Also, it's just it's a really cool feeling being able to play a song and it sounded good.
dude. Yeah, I've heard you like, especially like, gosh dang it, what was that song that you like actually practiced for a while and learned like the riff for? Whatever it was, I remember it sounding really good, and like overall, like I
When was this?
I
I
think it
don't
was.
remember.
I mean, it was for sure, in quarantine. Um,
Mhm.
I think it might have been like a Queen song or something, but like,
I know I learned the um part of the Bohemian Rhapsody so well.
oh yeah, I think it was that. But yeah, I'm just
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I remember how freaking bad I was as a beginner, and like seeing people, you know, be excited and like do well and really make big strides like that, like is really cool and exciting for me because like you know I'm not like expecting anything more than like just what people want to do with it, but
Mhm.
it's I definitely empathize and kind of like see the struggles and stuff like that I went through, and like I know that it gets so much better, and like the um and honestly, like people, some people just have a better knack for it than I did back in the day. Like especially guitar, I wasn't. I was pretty bad for a pretty long time. So like seeing, even like
Dude, I feel that, man.
years ago, I've, you know, when you were first learning, I was like, dang,
Mm-hmm.
like he's he's already made like a year's worth of progress I made in like so short time. But yeah, it's, I'd love to, you know, um, see something, even if it's like small, like
Yeah, I, that is something I do plan on doing, is doing some music stuff on my second channel.
mhm.
I did post one music thing, but I didn't think it was. But then I didn't think it was very good, so I took it down.
Oh,
Well, I didn't take it down. I privated it, but
okay.
like
Hold on, I'm trying to think if I got a notification for that.
I did. It was the I covered leaves from the vine from Avatar.
Oh yeah, dude, that was great. I don't know what you're talking about. Uh, also, just can we just recognize that song is a masterpiece?
It's a really really good song.
Uh, but yeah, maybe next year we can get that, or this year we can get that Jingle Bell Rock cover.
Oh yeah,
Or
dude,
started.
let's do it.
Yeah,
Dude, I want to do that. That'd be so fun.
I know, right? Oh man, and I think like your voice would actually really suit it. Like from
I
what
think
I've
so
heard,
too.
it
Like
would.
that's another thing I'm wanting to do, is get better with my vocals,
Mm-hmm.
because I have like just singing. I think is just so fun,
I know, right?
and like it's just genuinely a really fun thing,
Yeah.
and I want to do more stuff with music in the future, for sure.
Hit your boy up if you need tips. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm kind
oh,
of seasoned
you're
myself.
you're at the top of the list, my boy.
That's awesome, dude. And like super exciting. I think like if we could, like, for some kind of player select theme, like a collab between you and me in the future, like whether it's, vocals or whatever,
Hmm.
like incorporating that into like, I don't know, the podcast theme or something.
Yeah,
Like
that'd be cool.
get a
Speaking of
Starbomb
themes,
project up in here.
oh yeah. Speaking of themes, we got a new outro theme from our friend Raven
Yes,
Diffractor.
thank you so much, Raven. It's so good.
It's awesome. It's so good.
Like
And
I knew something was missing in that theme, and that was it,
mhm.
man. But yeah,
Let's see what else I got on the docket for you here. Um, what do you plan? What do you plan to do with YouTube? And are you gonna get back to streaming at some point?
I goodness, the past 2 weeks, I really wanted to stream. Like, I'll just have days where I wake up and I'm like, okay, today's the day I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna do it. And then something comes up and I'm like, crap, I can't stream today. And like it just makes me so sad. Like, I mean, part of this I wanted to announce, that I'm actually going on Spotify and stuff. But part of it, like, I actually have kind of like a better set list, an idea of like, what I want to do, and I have a better setup now. My webcam is so much better. My computer is so much better. So like, I wanna I wanna show off my little gadgets, but like, is especially like in the evening time, which is when I want to do it. I just get so busy and like everything comes up all at once in the evening. So I really want to stream, live, just everything live. I feel like I'm just more naturally inclined to do, like I like editing stuff and I like, recording, but to an extent, like when you're recording, especially if it's a cover that like you want to get a one take cover solid from start to finish, it can get like so demoralizing. Just like on your 20th take, you've been like, oh my gosh, this one line in the song that's like at the very end messes me up and I have to start all over again, dude. Like it's just rough. So the live format just like it makes to where every mistake it just goes in and you gotta move on and hope people don't care. But yeah,
I mean, I feel like that adds a lot more to the fun of it. How it's just kind of that's one of the things I enjoyed about streaming a lot. Yeah, it's like just the fact it's all live, and the thing is with streamers, it's like you're not gonna avoid messing up during a stream. Like that's just not gonna happen. Right. So it's like there's not as much pressure to do things like perfectly, because like everyone's gonna make the mistakes that you make.
Yep.
And it's like, and so that makes it so people don't care. But when it's like in a video, and it's like you had as many tries as you wanted to make this perfect, and you didn't do it. And it's like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's harder to be proud of yourself there,
Yeah, but overall, like I do prefer video making to streaming personally.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I've yet to fully untap the potential that is video editing, especially like for humor, because like so much of the humor in YouTube videos these days is in the editing, Right. And it seems like really fun to do. And, like it can really show off your creativity and all that. But like I've yet to really find a format that I can, steadily do big edits like that for me like I don't think comedic edits of an acoustic cover would really be in good taste. And like I've been really considering starting a second channel and like putting out, I don't know, music commentary stuff. Like, what do I think of this artist? Or like, this artist is put out a really weird song. Let's talk about it.
Some like Fantanos type stuff.
Yeah, but like I'm not smart, so definitely not like the level is. And I don't claim to like have
Anthony
good music taste.
Fantano has said some wacky stuff before.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, I really reviewing stuff. I think I might get into that, just like personal reviews, and I really want to do stuff like that everyone's done, like my top 15 21 Pilot songs or whatever. It's like, I mean, that stuff sounds really fun to me.
Right, yeah.
But like, it's just,
well, I kind of have the same philosophy with that, with stuff in like the gaming scene, because it's like some of the first YouTubers I ever watched were people like Peanut Butter Gamer and like people like Pro Jared and stuff. Who made that kind of content.
Yeah.
Who like made the reviews, made the top 10 lists, and it was like that was my thing when I was a kid. I loved, and I still love that stuff. I eat it up. I still love Peanut Butter Gamer stuff. I've gotten into watching people like Donkey, Scott the Woz, You know,
Represent.
yes, but like just personal stuff like that is so it's really interesting to me watching that.
Yeah. And like I don't know, I think I can say this. Um I've always really admired everything Matt Pat does. Like
Oh
his
yeah,
content is like
for sure.
so inspiring to me cuz like he it's like a perfect mix of like playfully adding in his opinion and his personality to like a really analytical and like kind of introspective way of looking at games and films and freaking food now. Like um and he just like does it with like such diligence
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, um I'm not like I don't know him as a guy, but as a person, but I just like having that kind of um you know, I guess freedom and like the um platform to just kind of talk about stuff. Like there's so much emphasis on doing stuff now in the creating world, like, you know, doing the next
Right.
big thing and like um you know,
And I
having
mean, there's nothing wrong with that per se. Like
of
I
course, no.
the doing the well in most cases people like Mr. Beast I respect a lot as
Mm-hmm.
as a content creator because he does you know he is someone who does stuff but like the way Mr. Beast does stuff with such charisma and like
Mm-hmm.
just the way and like the good heartedness of Mr. Beast it's just all really cool how just all of his content is just is really cool
Yeah.
not just for like the stuff that he does but like the way he does it I think is what really I think that's what really set him apart and made
Yeah,
him blow up.
for sure. Um
You were talking about how you were super inspired by how you like find MatPat inspirational. What other inspirations do you have just in general, like with making music and videos and
goodness.
stuff?
Um I mean, of course I'm very inspired by like, you know, people close to me. Like my girlfriend is literally the most hardworking person I know or know
Mm-hmm.
of. Like legit, she's never not working, and she does everything she does with like such excellence. And like, you know, I really that in itself, just like knowing her and being with her, like it motivates me to be such like a better person, better creator. But like in terms of creators, man, I've really been liking um the writing of Cave Town is like, I don't know if you know Cave Town. He started out
Oh, yeah,
actually
I know of Cape Town.
he started out as a YouTube cover artist, so like, yo, same here. But like he has such a legit following for like his original stuff because his writing style is so like cool and like gentle and poetic and, you know, very mental health based, which, you know, I'm very all for all of that. So that stuff has really been inspiring me these days in my own writing. Um, and let's see, I guess in YouTube, um, just overall, I really like people like Curtis Connor and like Eddie Burback, Gus Johnson. Their content is like
Right.
so it's like such a good mix of polished and professional and like just drop dead hilarious. Like
Right.
they also have like such a good personality and aura about them, you know, that like I'm sure, you know, they've part of it is they found a persona for their platform and they kind of stuck with that. Um and that's, you know, something that I definitely want to find for my own, but like you can also kind of tell that they're just genuinely funny people, and like that's
Right.
something that like I aspire to be
I
so
think
much.
that I think that Gus Johnson is just genuinely like such a comedically talented
I
person.
know, like, man, I feel like the
There's
banter.
like he's like one of two people who I can think of off the top of my head who started on YouTube who then like got picked up by Comedy Central, and the other one is Bo Burnham. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
all right, so it's like, all right, you know, Bo Burnham, that's a pretty high bar.
Yup. Dang. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good for Gus Johnson then. Like, dang.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, they've all been doing really well, and I've actually been listening to a lot of podcasts, which is very inspiring to do a podcast. Namely the Gus and Eddie show, and
Gus and Eddie's a great
yeah,
podcast.
and my brother and me. Um, I love the McElroy brothers, and they're just like they're also like um uh some people that I feel like just humor comes so naturally to them. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's also like experience, of course. Like I don't want to like chalk it all up to like, oh, it's just how they are, but like they just seem like, you know, they've really um gotten so good at just being people who know the flow of like comedy and like how to have fun with it too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like this is legitimately why I tweeted the other day like comedian side of Twitter. How do you be funny? Like legit, it's I just so see so many people like effort. It seems like it's so effortless, right?
Yeah,
Like of course it's not,
I
but
definitely see that.
yeah,
Cause like, dude, some people who who even I know personally, like off the top of my head, like Zach Dew, I think is just one of the most effortlessly funny people
oh my gosh, I
I
know.
know.
Honestly, we need to film more Kingdom Hearts because he is so
I
fun to be
dude,
around.
he is. I love Zach. He's such a good guy. Such a fun person.
Yeah.
Also, his content, like, oh my god, he puts, like, I've known him for most of the videos that he's put out, like, dude, he's put so much work into the stuff he does.
Yeah.
Like, he polishes his videos very well,
Yeah. Like
and that's like
he's
that's
on
really
that grind.
inspiring to me personally because he put such a high standard on his own stuff.
Yeah.
It it's really cool.
Yeah.
I need the new videos though. Come on, Zach. I know you got them.
Dude, come on.
I know I'm gonna see. I'm gonna upload this video and I'm gonna see you guys in the voice chat with Groovy listening to this. I know what's gonna happen. I,
Give us some money. So yeah, this is I guess kind of a segue into this, but like what has made the most difference in how you create?
the most difference in how I create, like, the most. I feel like just meeting the people who I record with, just meeting the people who I record with, because it's like, I mean, like stuff on my channel, on my personal channel, Funlord. It's like the stuff I do there is just what I record there is just like me and my friends having a fun time playing a video game,
Oh,
and
I love
it's
that content.
and it's like I didn't do that much beforehand. Like the stuff I planned on doing was like when I started my channel, the stuff I planned on doing was stuff like what Donkey does and what PVG does
Mm-hmm.
with their like scripted stuff. Because that's another thing I really love doing. Like I've not really talked about that. I love writing. Writing is like one of my favorite things. I don't do it as much as I really should, but like I I love writing. And but when I met just this group of people who I stumbled across um and became some of my closest friends, and it's and making videos of them has just been an absolute blast, and I think that has just been what makes the most difference in like what I make, because like it's pretty clear that like me and my friends who I record with make similar content, which is true among most groups on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. But I one thing I do really like is I think we all have our own like style of how we make our videos.
Yeah.
I think that has really helped me like set into my style, like of how I do stuff.
Right. I think that's a really interesting like balance that kind of just automatically happens whenever you're around a lot of people, who are like you and have the same like kind of goals as you. Is you will all like kind of feel yourself like gravitating to each other in your content and like influencing. But I think that kind of exposure to people and like experience with different creators actually helps like you to find who you are, like your identity as a creator, better than just like being alone, because like there's ways like oh, I can definitely see you know this part of how they create and how they are or whatever. Like it doesn't really jive with me. Like I respect it, I love it, but like that's not me. And this part, like, okay, yeah, I will kind of go more that way. Like I think like having that kind of community, um as much as people will tend to um have similar products in one way or another, it'll ultimately like really build diversity and like uniqueness as well.
And I think doing similar stuff just really helps you build off of each other.
Yeah.
Cause like, see, I watch some of my friends' videos, and I'm like, that's like something they like the way they deliver jokes or something, and just the way they just the way they do stuff. It always makes me want to makes me want to have my own thing of that.
Yeah.
It makes me want to like establish my own thing.
Yeah.
And I think just like we all push each other to be just better, and I think that's a really important part of just any friend group. But like,
Yeah.
it's especially true when you're a friend group built on you know creating, not really built on, but like
Hmm.
you know that's one of our things that we do. Like one of our main things that we do is we make videos together.
Right.
And I think that the way we push each other to just uh, do the best we can is really cool.
Man.
Yeah, that's probably what's influenced how I create things the most.
That's it's really cool to like see what has become of like something that just straight up wasn't there like to begin with, like
Hmm.
it's y'all have really just made something out of nothing in this community, and like,
Well, I mean, we all met through an SMP Live fan Discord, and
dang.
SMP Live is dead. SMP
Yeah.
Live is ended,
So
and
like,
it's crazy.
born out of the ashes, man. um, but yeah, like, it's really inspiring to me as well to see, you know, that kind of like corporate, like, that sounds weird. Not like corporate, but like communal, like, efforts, all like for similar goals. And
Right, right.
um obviously, like, I'm not first and foremost on my personal stuff like a gaming YouTuber or whatever, but like, what I've been around for has been like super fun, and I can tell that y'all have like such a good time, and like that's the like half of YouTube, right? Like, if you're not having a
Hmm.
good time doing it, what's the point, man?
I really don't think you can make. I don't. I think it's you probably can, but I think it's extremely difficult to make actual good content if you're not into it
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
Like if you cannot sit down and watch the content that you make and say, you know what, you know what, I think I did a good job and I think this is good,
uh,
then I don't think that's like I
yeah,
just or I could see myself if this I get the whole thing where you are your own worst critic, but you know if you can sit down and watch one of your own videos and say, if this wasn't me, I think I would enjoy this a lot. Then I think that's something to be proud of,
yeah,
like, regardless if like
absolutely.
yeah.
Like, there's really a lot to be said, especially when like you're this small, like, we're not like doing this for money, for sure.
Hmm.
So
Obviously.
being proud of yourself and being able to like enjoy what you make yourself is like, I mean, that's kind of the key to keep
Because
doing
in the
it.
end, we're making content because we love doing this.
Yeah,
This is what we do for fun. This is
right.
just this is a hobby.
Yup. I'm like,
If something bigger grows from it, then I that's awesome, but I'm not specifically looking for that.
yeah. I'm right now, like, I told Brady before we started this, I am job hunting like a mad person. And so, like,
I'm
obviously,
like, and I'm going to college to get a I'm
yeah.
getting a computer science I'm gonna get a computer science degree. So like, this obviously we aren't banking on
Yeah.
this.
Um so just doing it, like, you know, trying to do it for like such unselfish reasons is, I think, something that, like, when you do make money and like really, you know, the bigger tubers, like, at some point, like, they will even like admit, yes, I'm doing this for the money, and I probably wouldn't do it if I wasn't making money. Like, and like, that is completely like understandable, because like, it's a job, right, at that point. But like,
I feel like
I
you can
think,
definitely tell though whenever you can definitely tell the creators who are doing it because of the money at that
yeah,
point.
for sure.
Because even some of the huge like mega YouTubers, like I think a good example is Jacksepticeye. I can tell he still loves doing videos.
Right. Yeah.
I can tell he still does that just because he loves it.
Yeah.
Because and people like Markiplier too. But then it's like you look at someone like who do you think's a good example of just someone who does?
I mean,
I feel like at this point, I hate to say it, but at this point, I feel like you could say Game Grumps.
yeah, like, that's. I feel like that's a rabbit hole. You could just go deep down and like. I mean,
I still
I
have
think
a lot of obviously. We still have a. If you can't tell, we really like the game. We do
Yeah.
really like Game Grumps.
Yeah.
If you couldn't pick that up
you
from
know
this whole thing, this whole player select,
just
thing.
how everything is. But yeah.
But
I mean, how's Felix doing? Like, because it's at some point, like I could tell he kind of like
who?
PewDiePie. Like,
Oh yeah.
at some point, I could tell like yeah, he enjoys to some extent the community, right? Like interacting with the Reddit and stuff like that. But like he also just kind of seemed tired. Like
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that as well. You know, I definitely see, and he's been doing this for a long time and having to do with him being the largest creator on the platform. It'd have to be tough to know that, like, to have that much pressure on you. That must be tiring.
I can't imagine, man. Like, I mean, I think part of, like was it 2 years ago? There was that big, like, kind of PewDiePie movement. And I could tell he really enjoyed that, obviously, because, the whole subscribe to PewDiePie, try to beat T-Series. It was a lot of fun, like, just to be a part of.
There's a video of me on a fake prank channel with a subscribe to PewDiePie sign.
Wait, actually,
I told you about the guy who like came up to me at the convention and was like, "Oh, hey man, I'm filming a prank video. You want to be in it?" I got like 1 million subs, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, that's amazing.
And then a few months later, I go to his channel, and what do I see. But because I was a minor, he censors my face with PewDiePie's face.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Honestly.
And then I read the comments, and I shouldn't have read the comments.
Oh no. Oh, that is just.
It was
hilarious.
funny though.
But yeah, I feel like since then, like I haven't watched him in like I don't know, a month or so. But like I've just kind of seen the energy definitely go down. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure there are parts of it he still enjoys, but like I kind of worry for him to some extent, But yeah, like but to the point at hand, like I think you can really see such a spire. I try to say spark and fire at the same time. Such a spark of motivation in like small creators, and like there's such determination and like just kind of happiness that comes from doing it for yourself, so that's I feel like that's what every YouTuber who like actually did make it big says. You have to do it for yourself first before you do it for the money. So yeah. Shall we Shall we round this one out? Let's see, how many questions have we each asked of each other?
I think it was like 3 or 4 or something, but they were all pretty like long-winded,
Yeah,
open-ended stuff.
So,
but I got one
okay.
last question for you.
Alrighty.
1 second. Let me give me a second here. Here we go. Let's find a good would you rather.
Oh, here it is.
All right. Let's see what the top this month is on the Would You Rather subreddit.
This is I feel like this is gonna be dangerous, man.
Ooh. Let's see. Would you rather receive $1 million or have a 50% chance to win $1 billion?
Gosh. All right, so there's I got two schools of thought for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could live the rest of my life not being rich, and I wouldn't be hurting, I feel like. I mean, I'm privileged, definitely, to be in a family that, like, has never been, short on money. And, like, I feel like, I could work and supply for myself and stuff like that. So, I think that would inspire me to either go for the billion, 50% chance, or the million, because, like, whether I get the $1 billion, since it's a 50% chance, it's out of my hands. Like, that's between me and God, or the $1 billion and God, really. But if I chose $1 million, I would, like, have this kind of this in between level of, like, wealth that, like, I mean, $1 million is a lot, but it definitely isn't as much as it used to be.
Right. I don't think you could. It's strange to say, but I don't think you could live your whole life comfortably on just $1 million.
For sure, no. Like, especially with how young I am, I got a lot that I'm gonna have to pay for in the future, and, like, I feel like a house would take out, like, a half of that million really easily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'd probably go for the billion, actually.
Yeah, I would agree, because it's just the whole risk versus reward.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the risk just takes it down. Like, you get like, the risk level is taken down by a half, is put up by a half.
Right.
But the reward, that's put up by,
like,
100 by
1,000
times, 1,000 times.
Yeah.
1,000 times. So it's like, I'd say it's worth the risk.
Yeah,
for sure.
And if you don't get it, no harm done, man. Like, you're still gonna live.
If you're gonna go for something, go big, man.
Yeah. Like, you and your kids and your kids' kids wouldn't have to ever
always
work.
The thing is, if you don't go big on something, you're always gonna regret not trying.
Exactly. If you got the million, you'd be like, "Oh man, this is, like, nice.
What if I got that?
What if I got that billion?
That million runs out. What if I got that?
For real." But yeah, man, this is fun. This
was a really good. I had a lot of fun doing this. Yeah.
Like, I really like this format. Like I said, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, so like got that podcast fever, baby. We gotta get our game on, man. But yeah, this has been great.
Absolutely. You guys have a good one. Subscribe to us, follow us if you're listening on one of those wacky audio platforms. Follow us on our social medias if you want to.
Look out.
Oh yeah, look out for Tommy. His EP is all of his songs going to the platforms.
Yeah. And subscribe to Funlord for more fun. Baby.
That's me. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you.